Hey guys, this is Sean McGarry coming to you live from Cincinnati, Ohio, home of the music salon where great things happen. Hope everyone's doing awesome out there, man. Lots going on, lots to talk about, lots of cool guitar stuff to show you today, so let's dive right into it. Today we're going to talk about, I'm not sure we're going to call this video putting it all together, but really just going to show you some really cool ways to solo using triads and chords, really, kind of connecting chords with some exercises. But before we get into it, a couple quick things here. I'm going to keep talking about this and up until the event. I've got my Guthrie Trap Deep Dive Guitar Workshop, March 21st and 22nd. And man, we were sold out, and I had a few people, I had a guy coming from Ireland, and he had to bail out, and I had a few other things. So a few spots have opened, and like I said, man, we keep this to 15 people, and we do have a few spots available, and it's one of the coolest things you can ever experience. I mean, Guthrie's getting ready to do it over in Scotland. I'm not sure when coming up, but this thing that I'm doing, he's doing all over the world, and I'm doing it right here in Cincinnati, Ohio for 15 people, and it's a great experience. I'm not going to ramble on too much about it, but you can check out the link below. Go to the website. I'll be happy to give you any more information you need on it, but we do have a couple spots open. And then also, too, man, I just did a guitar clinic this last weekend with Noah Witherspoon, who's an amazing, amazing, amazing blues player, guitar player, and human being, and I put the link up on my channels here, so you can watch it for free. It's the entire workshop, and I'm telling you what, it was mind-boggling. He went through the whole history of blues, like more than I ever knew. Like he studied his whole life, like just every little nuance. Sorry about that. Like all the nuances of every player and all the genres and the origins of what parts of the country. So you can watch it and check it out. And then he and I are hopefully going to be teaming up and doing some instructional videos that we're going to be putting out here shortly as well. So get a little taste of that, what's going on. And man, you could spend months deciphering all the information he gave away. And it's right here on my YouTube channel, man. Just click it on and watch it. And it's a history lesson in blues, well worth watching. So those are a couple things I wanted to talk about before we get into today's lesson. So I took basically like a 1-4-5 in the key of E. A million songs, right? I know, C sharp minor, minor 6, right? We'll talk about that later too. But basically just that kind of thing, right? And I was just soloing over, I mean, that's a great little progression. So before we get into like the soloing and stuff like that, it's always the rhythm, So I know that, and I'm guilty, man. Like a lot of my channels are mostly talking about like leads and stuff. But I try and do rhythm, and really everything should be rhythm at first. Lead shouldn't even be a consideration in soloing until the right hand and chords are really in place. But as guitar players, we're attracted to the Eddie Van Halens, the Jimi Hendrixes. So of course we want to play that stuff, and I get it, man. We all do. But the rhythm has to come first, because we spend 99% of our time playing rhythm, if not 100%. Okay, so that's my rhythm speech of the day. But like if I'm taking this chord, E, A, B, or E, B, A, lots of ways we could play it. So the first thing I like to do, anything you can, anytime you're in E, is playing these open strings, man. Like so when I play the B, if I play like a B major, B sus right here, I'll lift up. I'll play the A sus and get that. I'm gonna hit this tune real quick while we're talking here, but so I always tell people, like, when you're playing in a key of E major, the kind of the general rule is, you know, you can, because people say, how many strings should I hit? And that's a great question, because you don't always hit all 6 strings, right? So generally, anything you're playing in E, and I'm using the word generally, the term generally, because not always, but generally you're going to hit E through E to get that sound. All right, should be a little bit more in tune here. So like I said, we can do that in the sus chords will give you the ability to do that. So if I play this chord, I can't go. So it's a subtle change, but it's really cool. Now if I go up here, I'll do the same thing. So I could take my E suspended chord, lift up, and man, I've got that nice E string ringing out. I've got this, watch, B major. Simple as this, lift your B major chord up, man, and go. And what a cool sound, right? Just by doing that. You know, we could break it down to play just a smaller version of it. So that's a couple ideas just rhythmically to lay down your looper there. Probably went a little longer than I wanted to show you that, but so now what I was doing was I was just playing like in C sharp minor, right? You know. And again, always trying to find little melodies, just something to play over, something melodic. You know, we can't all be Jimi Hendrix or Eddie Van Halen, so we got to find these little things that are pleasing to the ear that don't have to, you know, be technically crazy acrobatics, right? So just find little melodies and just find little things that you can kind of piece together and get the melody going. Then after that, I'm going to show you some little tricks, like I said, that you can do. And let me go back to this for a second since I'm talking about that. So if I got this chord progression, right? So I'm playing E, B, A. Well, now I'm really out of tune, sorry. But the first thing I did there, oh boy, is I landed on the E note. Let me try this again here, y'all. I'm not going to stop and start over. That's too much work here. It's live. We're having fun here. So I'm going to play this again. Hopefully I'm in tune. So simple as it gets, right? But I was trying to land on just the root, like I said, you know. So find the E note. The E note is right there in the chord. And then the chord progression ended on E, so it's like a book ending. E, B, A, E. So you can kind of, as long as you know, land on the right notes, you're okay. And that's the hardest thing about soloing and improvising, man, is especially like in blues and certain styles of music. Rock's not quite as hard because, you know, you can kind of just keep going and going. But in blues and certain styles of music, man, where it's real melodic, you've got to land on the chord tones. So I'm going to do this one more time because it's real easy, but I did want to show you this real quick. So like if we were playing again, I'll break this down here. I'm going. And I promise, this is going to get a lot more interesting in a second. I swear, stick with me. So I'm going. E. You know, it sounds cool. Like I said, you're getting these little sentences that sound kind of cool, and you're landing on the right note. And let me do one more thing here so you can hear the difference. Okay, I'm not going to land on the E note. I'm going to go. It's not really wrong, but it doesn't sound good, right? Watch. So I'll play a wrong note again. Doesn't work. I got to land on that root. So one more time. And that's one of the biggest pieces of advice I can give anybody watching this is if you do that, that'll really up your game quite a bit. Coffee, man. It's early. I've been to the chiropractor this morning. My back's starting to feel better. January got off to a rough month. I had I don't like to share too much personal stuff in here. I got frostbite on 2 of my toes from going to a Bengals game in town. It wasn't even that cold. Just I guess my circulation wasn't that good. I twisted my ankle. I couldn't hardly walk. Threw up my back. I had some emergency dental work. But man, February is starting off great. I feel great. We're drinking coffee, and it's going to be a kick-ass year. I can know that. You know, no pain, no gain, right? So now let's dig into what I was really wanting to talk about today. A great way to phrase, especially something like this, is to kind of pass over each chord. So I did this little lick in here. I went, and let me show you what I did here. I took each triad of the chord, E. And you know, I like to stay organized in these when I'm working on it. Okay, so in the heat of the battle, you can go all over the place, but when you're practicing, try and get organized. That's step one. So when we think about triads, we want to think about the 3 string sets. Okay, I mean, we could go this way, we could skip strings, we could jump, but what I'm trying to do is keep things as close as possible. So here's an E chord, and I'm going to always go over this. This is kind of my goal is to every time I talk about this stuff. You know, I know some of you have heard it a million times and go, oh my God, quit talking about it. But some of you tuning in for the first time may not know this, so it's always good to instill these things. It comes from the bar chord. Okay? So everything comes from this bar chord. So if I look at this bar chord, I've got all these triads in here. So right here, that's the one I'm seeking because I want to play the notes on the B, G, and D string. So I'm going to take the F-shaped E right out of that bar chord. So if you know where the bar chord is, you can find these triads. It's that damn easy. So I go like this. Well, look, my nearest B is 1 fret back. Look, I hardly move. Look at it. Okay. Now that's the 4 chord. Now this is, man, when you start piecing all those things together, check it out. There's my 1 chord. Okay, so I do have to switch here. There's my 4 chord. The 5 chord will always be back 2 frets, or reverse, you know, up or back. So it'll always be the same shape in the way it works out with these triads. It's great with the 1, 4, 5. So 1 chord E, 4 chord B, 5 chord A. Look where I resolve. Right to my E, which is bam, off a bar chord. Imagine that. So you're really kind of connecting chords, E and E with triad. So think of this, okay? You wanna say a little saying or sentence between these 2 chords. If I went, and a great way to practice this too is off a static chord. I do that a lot in my lessons, and I have a few of my students who don't like it. Jean-Claude, if you're watching, I know you hate doing that, but it's a good exercise, man, because there's no melody. And let me stop again, because if I have a chord progression, it goes. I'm playing a lot of chords. Well, you can make 1 or 2 notes sound pretty good because the chords are doing all the work. You're not doing shit. The chords are doing the work, okay? But if you have 1 chord that never moves, there's no movement, you've got to create all the magic, okay? That's why it's important to practice over a static chord, because you got to create these melodies, and it forces you to get better at creativity and come up with ideas. So, you know, if I'm going from this E to E, well, I might play a lick like. That was a little lick, right? Using the triads. You can go up and back. So you could hear the little melodies inside there. So what I did is I took that E, B, and A, and again landed right on E. And all I do is I try and make it musical by going. So if you haven't grabbed your guitar, grab it and play this with me. I'm going to start on the root note E here and go up E, 3 notes. 1, 2, 3. Well, the note I land on is my next note. So, you know, I have to switch my fingering out. I'm going to go. switch, substitute, slide back, 1 fret back. Practice that, man, that's a great riff. Da 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 da. Right, so there's your melody. Now let's just keep going down the fretboard. So this is really what I want to talk about today. So that was position 1. Now position 2, I landed here. What I try and do is I repeat this. So now I repeat this, but I'll go back up. I'll go. So here, I stay on an A shape, and then, well, look, I'm sitting on top of my 4 chord. So here's E, B. You know? And that's one of the greatest guitar riffs of all time. You know, I don't know the story behind it, but the way he just nails it is so sweet, man. It was just whatever amp and tone and magic. It was just, that sound of that recording is just pure bliss, where he goes. That's how he's even playing it, but that's how I play it. But so, you know, you're going from the 5 or the 4 chord into the 1 chord, and to me that's genius. That's Keith Richards was a genius rhythm guitar player, and that's it. There's nothing more you can say about that. I mean, that's that. If you want to learn about rhythm guitar, you study the Rolling Stones, right? That's it, or Malcolm Young. But that, you know, there's that shape. So E, B, and then you can think of. Now they go to the C sharp minor in that song, but we want to go to the 5 chord now. So 1 chord E, 4 chord B, 5 chord A. Now watch this. 1 fret back. Back to E. And a lot of people have trouble with this chord. Doesn't come as natural. And I try to, you know, always have little visuals or shortcuts to show people. In this case, what I tell people is, look, often you're going to go 1 fret back to this chord. So it's like, it's a resolve, like 5, 1. So check it out, like. You hear that sound a lot. And the way I think about that is, okay, just take the chord you already know, the easy chord, go back 1 fret, slide back. Well, it's clearly not right, but listen. I'm just showing you the shortcut. We don't want to play that. But think of this. You keep this guy planted, so you go. But, and what I use this analogy. Think of your fingers running away from each other. Like cockroaches, one's going one way, one's going the other. That's a horrible analogy. But they're scurrying, man. They're getting out of there, right? So one's going this way, one's going that way. But that little thing might help you. So again, you go here, back 1, flip these fingers away from each other like they're running away, and there's your inversion of the E. So I like to think about stupid little stuff like that to help me memorize finger positioning chords. So that last one was E, B, A, E. Now we're going to repeat this one again. Look, again, sitting on right top of it. E, A-shaped B. What am I going to say? Is anybody going to guess out there? Comes from the chord, comes from the major chord. Okay, so that right there, again, connecting bar chords. It's all in the bar chords. So here, what I said earlier, the 5 chord, same shape, same shape down, right? So, yeah. So where am I? Sorry. Oh, yeah. That would help if I played right shape. So that, yeah. So that last one again, I resolved on the E, okay, and I'm gonna start on E. So here's my E again. A-shaped B, A-shaped A. Imagine that, all right? How serendipitous. There's my resolve on the E. So check it out. All the way down, I'm going to do this whole little lick. time. So I'm gonna go. Sorry, I'm totally losing my train of thought this morning. Sorry about that. So that was like all those inversions connected, with one lick, so to speak. You know what I mean? So we can do it on different strings. Watch. Let's find. Let's say we want to go to the higher string. So here, well, there's my E. Still from the bar chord. There's E right here. Look. And there's melodies for days in those little ideas. I'm telling you, it's crazy what you can find in there. And I'll do that one again just to give you some more ideas. But again, organization. You want to try and stay organized to master this fretboard, okay? And so here, from the bar chord, there's my F shape, or however you're gonna think of it. So I'm gonna play this, right? There's my full F. There's my 3-chord F, and I'm gonna go. And I love that because that 4 chord is always 1 fret back there. Lots of melody. So, that's my D shape. I walk back that. So I go up the F. There's my same D shape, which is now A, and I resolve back to E. So I'll do that again. Here's E, D shaped B, slide back, D shaped A, slide back. Okay, so as chords it looks like this. As a riff it looks like this. Now here I'm gonna go. So here's my triad shape right here, and look, it's sitting right on top of that. Trace it back to the bar chords. So now I go, or I might go. E, B, A, there's my D shape D. So that little lick would be, or I might go. And that's, that one, if you look at that, when I start the E from the root, right, E, well there I'm going to land on the B. So instead of going, or C, I can do either. So, but that's nice and convenient if you land on the root that you're going to go to. And then I went down to this shape. So from here, well then I'm going to go. So here is D shaped D to this guy. So E, B. Well, now I've run out of real estate, so I can't move that. So I'll just find this guy there. A, and that's a triad. Look, there's your full A. Right, so I'm playing the root there, A, major third, E, and watch this. Nice resolve. So you could play for days with those ideas. I'll do that one more time all the way down the neck. So that was Okay, last thing I want to talk about real quickly is, so like if you're jamming around, that's a pretty common chord progression. Obviously any 1, 4, 5 is. But, you know, kind of referencing back to that Stones tune that you can always throw the minor 6. Like for an E major, the relative minor is C sharp minor. So that's also a great chord to play around with. You know, I might play, you know. I'll go from the 1 chord E to the minor 6, or maybe 1 chord, minor 6, 5 chord, 4 chord, million songs. Minor 6. So there's some fun little ideas that hopefully you guys can use and practice. Stuff that I like to use and play around with. And again, you know, it always goes back to the triads and chords. So you could think of these as just connecting chords with arpeggios. It doesn't matter. I mean, you know, the lingo is the lingo. However you think of it is how you think of it. There's really no right or wrong way, in my opinion. So anyway, thank you for watching. I thought this was fun today. I had fun. And thank you guys as usual. Please hit the like and subscribe button. Check out a couple of those videos I posted recently. Got some cool stuff I put up. And we'll tune in next time. And have a great day. And we'll see you on this next video. Thank you.